to the 2K25 extravaganza. This is where I say my opinion and whatever's gets straight to the point. So I think 2K25, 2K released tons. Yeah, it's late, but 2K released tons of information and news that I think will have shaped, the way we perceive and things like that. But also, I think it shows that what direction they're going in for the game. So I have a couple of tabs that I put up that I want to make sure I just remember to go on. And I think first, since we're already here, let's just talk about the attribute caps. I'm not too sure what the build was in the video. I think it was like a 6'2" guard because it only has like a. I forgot what the build was, but we can see right here if you look at the first three couple averages, you have 393 attributes plus 287s and an 85. This build can pass, move elite with the rock. It can shoot the ball, it can dunk, layup, steal. It's fast. I mean, I probably said it, and it could jump out the fucking gym. So clearly, we see people are 2K is going back in the direction of having demigod my players. My personal opinion, I like the idea of having a role player esque build. Sure, could it get boring, but people want you figure out how to make a demigod build anyways, in a sense. Like last year with the 6'9" shooting guard I made from Joe Knowles, like 80 ball handle, could rebound from 1 and 2, stick defense, shoot threes, 92 push control. Like I did everything. That was a demigod build. But I think people are looking at demigods as a more obvious, right? Like that build didn't have a high three ball or a high ball handle. This is a more obvious demigod. But I feel like I like the idea because it gave you less, it gave you more or less, right? Like I feel like being able for me to move on an 80 ball handle and shoot like a 78 three ball was cool. And now you give me more attribute points. Now that 80 turned to like an 87. I'm gonna just assume, and things like that. So I'm not too big on the idea of people becoming overpowered again, because as you probably seen the screenshots and stuff circulating on like 2K21 and 2K22. But like people had demigod builds then and we were complaining. The 2K community memory only lasts for the year. And sometimes that includes me too, so I'm no stranger to it. Because I think we forget when we get a thing and how it actually goes, right? So we get this, we get role players. We get this, we get role players. I think if I had to choose a side, I'm in the middle, but I'm more leaning towards more role player esque. To make sure that we're not overly overpowered. Not to go off to ramble, but in 2K22 next gen, I had like a 6'8", 6'9". Remember the glitch guards and stuff? I had like a 6'9" glitch shooting guard. I had like a 97 drive and dunk, 90 steal. I had a bunch of crazy shit. So like when eventually, well, let me say eventually, but not like when people figure out the game and how the game works and da 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 things like that. Like there's gonna be a amount of bills that are overpowered, and I think we need to come to a realization that that's a thing. So you take what you want, right? When you ask for a builder like this, you're asking for the fucking insane builds that everybody's building. So that's the key point. Personally, it's whatever. I guess right here, these are the high caps. I find it really interesting. You can't do a 6'9" shooting guard no more. I wonder what was their idea behind it. Maybe the build I just speak on was their idea, right? 6'10" small for everything else is the same. They went down again in point guard. I think maybe 2K is tired of seeing like the bigger, like people pick a point guard but always go bigger. I guess they're forcing you to go point guard like you're gonna be a small point guard, like right? Not a small point guard, but typically the tallest point guards are 6'7", right? Luka's like 6'7". Well, if you go at their listed height, right? Their listed height, Luka's 6'7", Shea's 6'6", I believe. LaMelo Ball 6'7". He's one of the taller point guards, but you got the Chris Pauls, It's like, 5'11", 6 foot. Tyrese Maxey, who's 6'2". So I guess now they're saying if you're a point guard, the tallest we're gonna give you is 6'7". So either you're Luka. If I'm just imagining from 2K's perspective, especially with the community builds and stuff, the way I see it is that at 6'7", either you're Luka, and from there on so forth. 6'8", I don't know, but 6'10", that's just whatever. So I think this is really interesting. So acceleration is completely out of the game, right? And as you know, well, as far as I'm concerned, in 2K24, acceleration is really what determined how explosive your gym was. Not so much as speed of ball. I think speed of ball was just how fast you got down court and the animations you got. And so people making zero speed with ball bills getting open. I mean, that's just tough. Like Koza and a couple of people who did that. That's just tough. That is tough, 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 tough. Anyways, so you took acceleration out the game completely, and now speed with ball, obviously, in the title is your speed with the ball and your ball handle affected. I find it interesting because one, every year Speedball Ball really just doesn't matter. I don't remember the last year Speedball Ball did matter. I don't think it mattered in 23. No, I think it did. Was it Steve Francis 23 or 22? I don't remember. But I feel like there's always a way around speed with ball, right? I feel like every year people upgrade speed with ball and there's always a way around it. And I think now 2K just decided to say, fuck it. We're not going to try to play a balanced game of giving you speed with ball in this. It's just straight speed with ball. But the reason I find this so interesting is because speed ball is always an expensive stat, right? Speed ball is always a stat because when you tie it to the dribble animations now, is I think last year was 88 to get Michael Jordan and like 90 something to get Steve Francis, right? Now people upgrade speed with ball more, compared to acceleration, speed with ball is a lot heavier. So if you're balancing it to like how do you balance speed with ball now? Do you make it really cheap from 25 to 85 and then from up there it's gonna get expensive? I don't know. I also find it interesting because what they're basically saying is only two stats in the game affect how fast you move with the rock, which in theory makes sense, but it's like how well the game must feel different, right? Like compared to 24, like how different does the game how different does the game feel? Because I wouldn't assume the game be played at the same pace with whatever speed of ball now. For those who've seen the clip of the dribbling, I'll maybe pull it up later, but it's like a 3 second clip. Everybody's running with it, but it looks nice, right? For every little small clips see a 2K, it looks good. But I just find this interesting, and then also as a defensive player, agility determines defensive movement, off ball launches, off ball cuts. So now they give a separate stat completely. It's three things, right? How fast you cut to the paint, how fast you move off the ball, and defensive movement. Now, I think last year perimeter defense and speed determined defensive lateral movement. I'm sure it's the same thing this year. But I'm gonna assume that because they made agility a new thing, that it would have a more important impact, right? And this just comes down to speed of ball versus agility. There's going to be, every year people run the test, which I think is good, and they run the graphs and show agility sounds like you move obviously lateral, you move side to side. And I think what it's going to be is that agility is you staying in front of them and perimeter defense is getting a contest. And if that's the case, perimeter defense in theory won't matter that much as long as you like playing defense on a bill like a 60 perimeter. I think last year's when you need to get challenger is was easy as long as you could get stay in front of them. So agility sounds like you're just staying in front of them, and obviously you get your clamps and your challenger or whatever to get the shock contest. I think it's called on ball menace now, and you get your stops. So the only reason I'm saying that is because agility or the new acceleration stat is like that slot for the physical just stays overpowered. And I think having a stat for off ball cuts is cool. I wonder, will it matter? Like when stuff like this changes, like it doesn't really matter, or is it just a rename? Like, is it just literally the same way it was last year, but now it's called agility? You know what I mean? Cat breakers. I just pulled this up to make it easier. Cat breakers are really interesting. Now, this goes back to what I'm saying, right? This, I think, this is pulled from the builder, which I was confused about, and we'll talk about the build a little bit later. But let's assume this build has no cat breakers, right? That means this player could have, and the cat breakers go up to five. Now, I'm under the impression that it's not as simple as you use a cat breaker get plus five. I'm assuming you use like two, three cat breakers to get plus five. I think it might be somewhere in the course of our report. I have it pulled up just in case. Uh, Let me scroll down a bit. And while we're here, let's check it, right? Challenger, look, shots. Let's see. On ball minutes, hands and bodies up. Yeah, this is just so you stay in front of them. Yes. Are you? All right, let me go let my camera run. Yeah. Okay. So, like I was saying, right? So, um, let's see. Okay, cat breakers, cool. So, you can apply two cat breakers to play with an 87 ball handle. So I find that interesting, right? Because a lot of people are just thinking about this plus five right here, and this let me highlight the whole thing. This plus five breaks the cap. So basically, you go from a 94 perimeter defense to a 99 perimeter defense, right? And but right here they says two cap breakers to an 87. Now this could be hyperbole, right? This could be that they're just saying that as an example, but I wouldn't doubt that that's what that means. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe people was right because you only get what 15. I think it is. So is it like, are you gonna use five of them on it? Maybe I just thought people was misunderstanding because I think I'm misunderstanding now. Anyways, that's besides the point, right? Forget that what I'm saying now. But you get 15 of them, right? Are you going to use 5 and get to a 99? Sure. But then it's like if you already get to that 94 stat, why put at 99? Anyways, the reason why I think this is so interesting is because a lot of people talk about this plus 5 cap, right? Now, the way they are earned is through rep and yada yada yada. So it's like, are you going to base your build off of getting the cap breakers? I was thinking about that. I was like, how easy are they to obtain, and how fundamentally good is it to base my build off it? For instance, let's say I build a locked in, or let's say I build a 6'10" ball handler, and if I get three cap breaks, I could get 84 ball handle, get really good dribble moves. But I gotta wait like 2 months to do that. It is the I guess the return on investment is good, but I just find this really interesting, right? And the way it can affect the game. I think what matters is how you unlock them. I mean, how long it takes to unlock them. I think I was missing this point, but I think the way you want to use them is so few and far between. Like, are you going to use five on one stat? Are you going to use four on one stat? It's very possible and plausible, but I think the way I might approach using my cap breakers is like put two here and three there, right? Make my bit like in theory, if you get enough stats to make a demigod, you can make a build really balanced. And my build every year, my favorite build from 2K20, I made it was like me first, like one of the first builds I made. It was a 6-7 playmaking and defensive pie chart. Just so happened that pie chart came to be overpowered. And I make it every year. I make a small forward that can play, make, and defend. Now this year, you tell like you tell me like, okay, I can make it balanced and then use three cat breakers to go from a 77 ball to an 80. I don't need to, jump a big jump. I need to get a jump big enough to help me. So I think maybe that's what it matters a bit too. Uh, and obviously contributing to thresholds and everything else. That's when it really gets interesting. Because I think 2K is obviously purposely making it that way. But when I look at this right here, right, let's see, we can make it bigger. So you see how you go from an 86 speed ball to a 91, and you get the lightning launch, or Hall of Fame, right? Think about, okay, lightning launch is the only badge in the game that I think affects your speed with the ball. So, but I think that for other badges, because this can change. 2K has changed it. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna make you have to fight for certain things, right? So let's just take this for example. If you have a 70 speed ball, like if you put +5 to everything except for bronze, so from silver to bronze and silver to gold, you can't apply the +5. But from silver, from gold to Hall of Fame and Hall of Fame to legend, you can apply the +5. So I think the way that they're gonna do is I think once again in a year where I feel like 2K always says it, that attributes matter and they're gonna carry you to the back. Like they're always trying to say the attributes matter, but I think the badges are gonna like be there more in a sense. Like, all right, let me rephrase. So it's if you make a modest build, right? If you try to make a balanced build that could dribble through everything else, you're probably not gonna reach this 86 speed ball, right? You might reach an 81 and then put the +5 on it. But then how difficult is it to get that +5, right? So now your effort and time is going to this. So you're probably gonna hit the 75, right? But if you do get the chance to get this 91 speed ball, this 86 speed ball, you get the leverage of using a cat breaker or I'll go into that later, but you get the leverage of using it. So I think that even though they're giving everybody demigods builds, I guess their idea is that they're gonna make these badge thresholds so far and be like, now you get this and use the cat breaker, get this. Like, let's say Hall of Fame Challengers, 94 last year. Let's say this year's like a 96, right? You get, let's say, 65 for bronze, 72 for gold, 72 for silver, 80 for gold, 85, whatever, 85 for Hall of Fame and 90 for legend. They're gonna make it so, okay, you want to be a defender, you want to be, you want to have gold challenger. We're gonna, even if let's say you go to an 81 to put the +5 on it, right? It's funny I say people talk about the +5 now. I'm doing it, but I'm just using it as a broader example. But because obviously you've got like a 91, this is +3 right there. That's cool. Or you put this at an 88, put a +3. That's cool, right? But just as a broader example, in a way, I think 2K's thinking about it because I think they know. I think they know a little bit, not as much, but I think they know a little bit that people and such as myself will do the same thing. Where you min max your build. And for those who are unaware, min max is like you get the most amount for the littlest amount. So, hey, so you get every year I always base my build off the badges I get. That's why I always say I think it's 84 mid range. All my builds like an 84 mid range, like a 77 3 ball, because you always got goal catch and shoot, and that's all I needed. So like things like that, right? So you get the most amount. So I think 2K is thinking about that people are going to be making 85, 80, let's say ball handle builds and going up to an 85 because they get the plus 5. So then I wonder, are the cap breakers maybe, I don't know. I think depending on how easy these are to get will really determine the way the game flows. Because if they're easy, I feel like 2K is banking on that. But if they're hard, I feel like it's different. But let's get back to the point, right? I'm gonna stop talking this hypothetical a second. So then you go to, okay, I forgot where I was going. So then it's like, okay, if you want to be a perimeter if you want to be a ball handler, right? Now you could be down here with these people, or you put the extra effort into the badge points and then putting down a plus 5. So really, the point I'm trying to make with this is that I think the way 2K is trying to separate the game and ultimately make it the builds different, because it's gonna be hard to do that with demigod builds and stuff, is that the the attributes you have and the way you apply your cap breaks to get the badges, I think that's the way it's gonna go. Because if you have a 75 speed ball, you're a miles away from being gold. But if you're gold, you know, if you're 86, you're close to getting that Hall of Fame if you bought your cap breakers. So that's what I'm thinking about it. Also, I do not like the idea of a new badge tier. While I think that, assuming I'm thinking like 2K, this is the way they want to do it, because essentially this is just downgrading everything else, is it not? Like, am I tweaking for thinking that? Like now, Legends the new Hall of Fame, so Hall of Fame's the new goal. I always do things like that. I could be wrong, but that means Hall of Fame isn't maybe it is. Let me not think like that. Maybe it is, right. Maybe you hit this 94, and it's just like you're really locked in, but it's just so hard to get, right? Because we can see right here 6'2", 6'9". That's the threshold. So we can assume that only 6'2" and under guards could get Hall of Fame. Uh, I mean Legend Lightning Launch, I think is what it's called. Yeah. So maybe that's the difference, right? Maybe the requirements to get certain badges are more strict now because of that. What else do I want to talk about? Takeover. I think it's like 70 something fucking takeovers. And I think Laker fan did a really good way of explaining it, that if you play college football, um, when you recruit players, your team has things that they're good at. So, for example, your team has good athletics, a good training facility, and they play in a good division. But let's say the player wants something else. You pick it. You try to fit the things that fit your board so you get the player. So, oh damn, let me actually pull up a visual reference of that. It should be somewhere in here. And so I think it's a really good idea because with 72 takeovers, I mean, you're bound to find something you like, right? Like, got to, right? But I wouldn't doubt it, not to drag it out, but I wouldn't doubt it if we had, I see, what was it, 100, takeovers. Is it 144? Am I tweaking? I might be tweaking. Let me check that. I don't think so. What was it, 72 times 2? Yeah, 144. I wouldn't doubt if we had 144 takeovers, because it seems that every takeover at level 5 is a takeover ability. So it's almost like you're getting 2 takeovers in a one, right? Because look at this. So the first takeover you get is at level 3. So let's say you first get on park. You play your first couple of games, you only get this level 3 takeover. But I'm confused that, because this right here says reach a level 5 turns into takeover ability. So since they're putting levels on takeover, is it like only at level 5 do you actually get the ability, or does it actually activate? Or is it level 3 activates, then level 5 you get the extra bonus? That's where it's kind of confusing. Because where that screenshot just go? Because right here, we see this person's at level 3, but they have all 5 of them unlocked. So is it now they go to level 5, right? I don't know. I guess to play both sides of the field, you get you. It almost sounds like you get two takeovers, right? You get barbecue chicken, what gives you this, and then you get deep post bag gives you this. Now I might be overthinking it, but it's just a little confusing because you have to. It almost sounds like you have to unlock the ability to get hot, right? Joe Knows said it. Laker fan said it. You know, when you get hot, you get hot. So is it like you have to play X amount of park games and whatever to get hot? I think that maybe at first it's just like an attribute boost from level 1 to 3, and then 4 to 5 you get takeover. I don't know, but I think you get two takeovers. I think in a good way it could be like that, but also in a bad way because it could give you too much. But like, let's just say, Lost Art, I'm gonna assume is like mid range, post control, something like that. Mid range, post control, and probably defense, right? That sounds like some that they was when people talk about the Lost Art, or ball handle, right? Ball handle, post control, like the Lost Art in mid range, right? So let's say you get your little plus, what is it? +4 to your things from level 1 to 3, and then at level 5 you get better, uh you get a higher green window when you do step backs and shit. I think that's the way it's gonna be, right? I think it's gonna be like you get your normal takeover that's giving you the boost that you needed, and then you get the ability. Oh, maybe I just explained to myself. Maybe I'm overthinking things like how I am, and I'm just fucking 10 seconds behind everybody. But I guess that's the way it works, right? But last year we had slash and take. You got the abilities. I don't know, because this is like one of the few years where they're separating them. Not one of the few years, but in 21 next year, and I think in 22 when they separated them, it was like this. But I feel like this year's weird because it sounds like they're giving you two takeovers, but it's kind of like how 21 and 22 was, where you have like lock take, but you have like a hand shot contest. So your lock take was really good against shot contest, but you still had lock take. I don't know. I think I'm gonna just be arrogant and not trying to sound stupid and still say we get 100 some takeovers, just because of the fact that you get one to get an ability, which can be separated as two or however you want to put it. So yeah, I think that's pretty dope though. I still think I agree with Joe Knows' original ability about takeover. As much as I think this is cool, I do like the idea of just you're getting hot because you hit like three threes in a row, and you got like a nice posterizer, and now you got like sharp take, right? I think that sounds cool. Also, I'm assuming they're gonna have like one universal icon for takeover, because nowhere they're gonna make like an icon for all of these. This just talk about the build tester that I think is really cool. I think it's really dope that they give you a chance to test it out, because obviously last year people always rightfully so saying like they don't want you to test it out because obviously you fuck something up. I've done that like multiple times last year and fuck something up, and then but you just make do. But now you don't have to fuck up as long as you do it. You create a whole dunk style, animations, a jumper. You basically using a fucking build against AIs before you use it online. I think that's really dope because it gives you more chance to fundamentally do things and just try out things. And overall, it's objectively the right thing to do if you want your game to continue to succeed. You know, 2K can be a bit fuckery at times and things like that where they hold back the game, but I think this year they're genuinely trying a little bit. A couple extra things I want to touch on. Everybody, not everybody, but it's a big thing that even I thought was weird at first when I was thinking about it, like hearing all the badges. It's only 5 shooting badges. A lot of the shooting badges are combined. I think blinders and dead eyes combined. Let me see if I can pull that up. 2K25 badges. right here. So all these are combined. Green Machine's out the game completely, right? So I think that's crazy. I think Space Creator is just this, but whatever, right? Green Machine's out the game completely. Corner Specials, I'm pretty sure is out the game completely. Like, yes, we have set shot specialist, but it's just for anywhere around the court, not specifically in the corner. Why is this crazy? That means that these five badges are by far the most important badges in the game because they have so much of this area right here that they have to they have to care for. They have to make do with all of this in five badges. But does that also mean? I believe that shooting this year is gonna be really fucking crazy. And because they keep selling the signature go-to shot, like I said, which I think my suspicions might be true, where they were saying that you get your signature go-to shot. A lot of signature go-to shots are step back, side steps, some sort of advanced shot. Here it goes, shifty shooter. This is like every off dribble shot badge ever, right? Because you don't got Space Creator no more. Age of 3 mini magicians all in this one badge. So that means that this badge has to carry a lot of badges. That means the weight that these five badges hold. And maybe I'm thinking like obviously Brick won't slip your off ball, but the purpose they solve is like they have is always the same thing, right? Same thing with these two. You can't. They try to make uh rebound and have separate badges. It just didn't work out right. Like box out beats, like that's the simplest gonna get. Pogo stick, they done rework this bad like 100 times. So these being five badges have to equate for like 10. That means limitless range. Limitless range is fine. Mini marksman, I thought sounded bad, but I think Liquor fans said it's probably just like a rebranded mixed match expert, which was bad when it was around. But I think they're only doing this just so when you hit your animations and shit, it looks nice. Set shot specialist, that's just your spot up badge. But now it's your spot up badge, your claymore, and your corner specialist, right? So now, you think about all the years where you combine them. Now, since they all in one, I would only assume that the badge is objectively better, right? Deadeye is just any type of contest coming towards you because it's that was not popping up, but Deadeye is blinders. So that means that now you don't gotta worry about doing whatever. You get Deadeye up, you're good, right? That's another thing. Limitless range, not really equating for much. And shifty shooter being all those special badges and everything. I think I'm just scared, right? Not to say like, shooting is fine, let it be the way it is. But it just sounds like that because of the way that this is set up with these five badges, that shooting is going to be fucking crazy. Um, I find it. I guess it doesn't really matter because floaters is its own thing. But I find it funny how they mixed up all the layup badges together and they just put floaters right here. But floaters is not the same thing as like a scoop layup or a spin layup, so I get it. Like they're a little bit different. Um, Anything here I want to add? Pogo stick I find interesting because I think every year 2K realizes that Pogo stick is like still good and still usable, and they try to find a way to rework it and make it less overpowered. I mean, 2K20 when that thing was crazy. So now it's like my question is, what difference does it make that when I shoot the ball and I pogo stick, I come down quicker? Right? I can understand a rebound or a block attempt, but a jump shot, I don't know. Versatile visionary, that's just needle threader. I think handles for days is both handles for days and killer combos or any other dribble chain badge. Angle breakers are I don't know. They renamed the Angle Assassin. They don't sound too well. Any other thing I want to talk about here? High flying denier. Also, I think it's cool when 2K just renames shit. Even if it's still like objectively the same badge, or they take two badges out to make it two badges and they say cool. I think it's cool, right? It gives the game a new feel. And Laker fans said I definitely agree. Like layup mix master is just like your acrobat badge, right? And physical finishers is like your post badges and post up poet. Like I wouldn't mind if they renamed Box Out Beast Rebound Chaser. Rebound Chaser used to be named something way before it got renamed to 20. I forgot what it was called though. I think Unpluckable had a different name too. I'm not too sure. Quick first step, lightning launch, speed booster, all those things. Versatile visionary. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. Like I think it's nice, right? Just to have a new game feel. But I do think that in the same vein, that I think you could change the badge a bit. Not saying that they aren't, but I think that you should. Like Paint Patroller, like if you're patrolling the paint, I don't think it matters so much about the block or contest, right? So maybe whatever. There's no need to go deep into that shit. Badge perks are back. I think they were cool. I think they were good. This is interesting. I'm not trying to yap for too long. We're already 36 minutes in, but this is interesting because this is like your cat breakers, but for badges. So this is also like fucking crazy. Boost one badge, like what one progress for his max potential, and so you go from legend to Hall of Fame, right? That is ridiculous, right? Now I think it only lasts for the season, yeah. So only for one season will you be overpowered. I guess they gotta unlock it. But it's like as long as you get to level 30, you get the same performance. I think what 2K is doing, which I think is good, or not. Yeah, I mean for them, they're using all these things to make a way is like retention, like making sure people play the game all year. You got a reason to play the game all year here. And with cap breakers, you get a reason to play out the game all year, right? You're consistently grinding for something to make your player really good. So I'm not gonna try to go too deep into this, but the fact, I mean, because now you look at things and you go, well, if I know I'm gonna knock this level 15 out of the park, my tier two badge, I might have set shots, but also, I wonder if all the shooting badges are gonna be tier one. There's only 5 of them. Like, there's no way they're not all tier 1, right? But let's just say you have a tier 2 badge, just special catch and shoot, whatever. Now, let's say you have gold catch and shoot at 84 3 ball, but you get at Hall of Fame now. That's insane. That's insane. This is dope. This is dope. So it helps you grind easier. Like if you're grinding a center, and ooh, oh my damn. Ooh, fuck. Stay hydrated. But I think this is dope because it's like I don't think you even have to be with your. I mean, I think it's cool because you don't have to be with your friends, right? Like I know for me personally, when I make a new build, I just go on rec and grind it that way. So I'm making new power forward, and I got like I don't even fucking know. I would say gold rebound chaser, but my gold rebound chaser could go to fucking Hall of Fame with a cat breaker and legend like that, right? Like if I'm thinking about it in the right manner, I guess the segue is if you go from 86 plus 5, boom, now you get 91 speed with ball. Do you then use the +1 badge to get a legend? Because I don't think it's not. Yeah, it's just like you boost it one tier above the max potential, and that's it. So, hey, enough of that. That's crazy. You think about it, because now you're just playing for builds. You just put 80s in every fucking category, I guess, and figure out what the thresholds are. Can you even make a specialist in this game? I'm not even trying to ramble about. I'm curious, like, what do this a specialist look like? But anyways, let's say I get Hall of Fame rebound chaser right without the badge perk right. It'll be cool. Like I got a guy that's playing on the center already, grabbing the rebounds. I grab a rebounds already helping, and then participation right. So it's good that all the badges kind of work with each other and they're giving you more and more something to put in game. Uh, Overdrive is good. I do think they mentioned it up here earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Um, this I didn't think badge regression was a bad thing. Was it annoying and stuff? Granted, yes, at times, but I think it just showed what badges you use the most. Now, obviously, it's 2K. You can't activate the badges. Like with Bulldozer, you can't activate Bulldozer. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I think it was cool because it was like, you know, all the badges I had upgraded were all the badges I always used. So it was like, I just thought it was like, well, these are the badges I use. That's what represents my playstyle. I don't know. I didn't think it was a bad thing. Also, in real life, is like if you stop dunking for a season, let's say that, you know, are you still posterizing the same way you was? Like, you gotta get back used to it again. So I didn't think that was a bad idea. I just think it was, in a game where you can control things like that and things like that or whatever is very interesting. Anything else? This is cool. This just helps you grind. Nothing simple. Badge elevators. Now, this is interesting. Confirm boost of badge. 3 levels with its max potential. Like, what? Like, what? Basically, it sounds fucking impossible to have a bronze badge in this game. You just objectively aren't building that type of player. So they're like, I find it so interesting. But I feel like 2K is like driving home with this. Okay, I will tired of role players. Now they're giving you every single thing to make your character overpowered, kinda. And also, look at that. Another reason to play the game. I'm assuming you gotta hit level 40 to get these. So realistically, a lot of people are probably not gonna get them. But I know shit. I'm gonna try hard to get this shit. You telling me? Let's just say with this gold rebound chaser, right? It goes up. Where to say that? +2, right? Boosted up. Maybe be boosted up from silver to bronze to silver to gold to Hall of Fame. So let's say I got this gold rebound chaser right here with this Hall of Fame, with this legend. But obviously they say it fucking every year, and I don't know what it means. But they speak about attributes mattering more. I'm assuming this is what matters when everybody has gold, Hall of Fame, and legend badges. This is when attributes legitimately play a point. I think that's it. This Minecraft stuff, I think it's cool. Like, I think it's cool they had these like little badges and Minecraft's back. I don't know if that matters to me too much. I mean, it's cool, and I definitely think it's cool that you know, I can try on my jump shot, my Minecraft, dance to go to Gatorade, and that whole spiel. Excuse me. Let's put you down. And things like that, but I think that's everything I want to touch on for the video. I don't think there's nothing else I'm really too concerned about. I guess look at these badges. On ball menace is just clamps, right? Yeah. Immovable enforcer. There's no more bulldozer, I don't think, right? I wonder what made them give up on that. I'm always the guy saying strength should matter and strength this and strength that, right? So it just seems like that's giving up thing unless it's right here. Yeah, bulldozer is trying to players to move out back down. Bad through contact and convert contact layups. I mean, unless physical finisher is this, right? Cause like a less physical finisher, it's just bulldozer added in, which is possible. I mean, I know it doesn't say it right here, but you know, whatever. But I think that could be true. Also, they took out 94 feet, right? I even picked that up till I just read it. I think that's interesting too. I don't. I'm not too aware if 94 feet was overpowered when I watch comp prom games. I don't really recall that happening. I guess he wants to using it. Right stick rubber, fast feet. Fast feet is now just agility. Remember that. Like if you think about it, fast feet is just agility. So I think that's one thing to take into consideration, right? Um, anything else? No. I want to say this. Handles for days is probably more important, but god damn it. I also think because now the playmaking stat is so. I'm sure handle for days will probably be way more important, but it's only that one badge you got to upgrade. Lightning launch, I'm really interested to see how launched this is. This too, strong handle, I think is physical handles from last year, and I don't really remember physical handles working. Versatile visionary, I hope it's actually better than needle threader, but let me not say that yet. I know what build I'm making for the year the first came out. I think I might not be done playing center, but just easing back off it a little bit. Let my homie play center. Make a nice little like I'm thinking between power forward or shooting guard builds. What I'm looking at, and the more data that comes out and stuff makes it seem like the build I want to make is fucking possible with everything they're giving to you. Also, this stat line only to have level 3 takeover is fucking crazy. Anyways, y'all boys take it easy. These are my thoughts on 2K25. And I'll probably upload some stuff. I don't know. But y'all stay safe though.